Yo, what's up, exiles? Today we are taking a look at my theorycraft for 3.27. What if your zombies could infinitely scale their damage and numbers, and they could also poison? Let's talk about turning your strength into undead muscle, and also some defensive scaling for ourselves too. I present to you my poison zombie zoomancer. The idea is simple. We use the Baron, stack strength to transfer half of it to our zombies. Every 2 strength grants 1 maximum life, and every 5 strength grants 1% increased melee physical damage, which means with 500 strength, which is easily achievable, we get 50% increased melee physical damage for our zombies, and we are scaling flat damage through ghastly eye jewels and carrion golems, which double dips with an increased modifier from strength. Every 500 strength also adds another zombie. Add in Chaos Conversion from Unholy Might, and we get a very powerful starting point for our army. Since we are strength stacking, we will be using some uniques that also benefit from this attribute, such as Geoffrey's Sanctuary and Shaper stats, to stack flat and increased energy shield. We will also be using Alberon's Warpath as soon as we can because it makes our skeletons permanent and also increases our strength, which is a very rare modifier. Beware that skeletons are very squishy minions and they will die often until you have some really good sustain from cluster jewels. Darkness Enthroned is another really good unique early because we can reach 100% poison chance for our minions easier early on. Later we are going to be using United in Dream for Envy Aura and a free 60% chance to poison. For defense we are going to use Aegis Aurora along with some 3 options to get some block chance and some energy shield on block. We also convert the life that minions leads to us to energy shield with Ghost River Keystone, and since we can't recharge energy shield, we benefit from Zealot's Oath from our body armor to regenerate energy shield instead of life. Let's talk about Animate Guardian. After the previous patch, Secrets of the Atlas, Animate Guardian now respawns after death in the next zone you go in and doesn't lose its gear. There is an interesting interaction with Bino's kitchen knife and Gravebind because it has a line that says, on killing a poisoned enemy, nearby enemies are poisoned. It doesn't say with this weapon or something of that sort, which means as long as you have the weapon equipped and you are the one counting as getting the kill, poisons will proliferate. So not only we have a free poison proliferation stat stick, but we don't have to pay extra every time we make a mistake. It also gives 200 life regeneration per second every time a poisoned enemy dies in Animate's Guardian presence. So that's our dream setup. Let's talk about leveling and how I plan to get there. The first thing to do as soon as you drop a Chaos Orb is to get Alberon's Warpath. You might even drop it yourself since it's a very common unique. You will want the Baron Helmet, obviously, but also focus on strength on gear as Tramentis can also carry early. The passive tree is basically a minion node buffet. Grab all the essential minion nodes and stack some strength until you finish acts. You need to grab chance to poison when offered as a reward the first time since then it won't be available until much later unless you want to just mule another character like a shadow which can get it early. We use raise zombies and fireball until we get SRS and level how we can until we get skeletons and absolution. For rares and unique enemies, you want to link SRS with chance to poison and minion speed, which is offered a bit later. For clearing, you want to use Absolution with minion damage and summon Phantasm. Don't forget to corrupt Absolution when you can for Val Absolution, which is very OP early on. Also, scan Val side areas for the drop. Val Absolution and Val Summon Skeletons are really good to have as a minion build. I will also have a regex in POB notes for the links you need and movement speed boots. Lastly, there is a very good spectre in the crematorium called Undying Incinerator, and it's similar to Forge's Frostbearer but with fire damage, and can help with damage and clear speed early on. Let's talk about potential weaknesses. For the early game, since we know that the league mechanic will enforce itself really early, I don't know if it's optimal to go minions for the clear speed required to interact with the league mechanic. I'm assuming it won't be that hard early on, but still I'm not 100% sure. Late game. Oh yeah, of course. You will hit about 30k armor and you will still die to AoE death on death effects and stuff like that. Scaling strength isn't cheap either. And this build is very unique reliant, so scaling defenses goes out the window. And that's also one of the reasons we go CI, because chaos resistance is not really an option. Also, your zombies can sometimes go sightseeing mid-fight, but that's part of the charm. You would be much tankier as a guardian, but you will lose some speed and damage. This is not the final version, of course, and it's just a theorycraft. I am open to discuss ideas in the comments, some Spectre options, gearing, anything really. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. See you on the next one, and don't forget to wash yourselves between acts.